Coach Mariucci, you're here on the Rich Eisen Show once again. How are you, Mooch?
Good morning, Rich. Good to be on with you again.
Appreciate it. Before we get started, I have to ask, are you wearing a tie? Are you adhering to the Rich Eisen Show dress code right now?
No, I got some sweatsuits on.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Steve, I hate to bring in the bad news. I can't start you in this segment. I've got to put you on the bench for 1 second. Yeah, do we have
for 1 minute or so?
Just for one question. Do we have Coach Vermeil on the phone line? Coach,
we do.
Coach Vermeil, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, Coach Vermeil, Mooch showed up without a tie, and so I'm going to have to ask you the first question of this segment, if that's okay.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm pissed. I'm upset. You know, he's normally been a standard setter all his career, you know, and I've sort of looked up to him, but that's a real negative right now.
So, Coach Vermeil, who do you think is the best team in the National Football League so far through the first?
New England Patriots. I think New England is. I think everybody feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dallas might not be too far behind.
Mm-hmm. But if the Patriots and the Cowboys play one another, who do you think wins?
God, you know, I'd have to spend some time to study them both, but right off that bat, I'd say Brady.
Okay. There you go. Because he's also a Northern California guy, just like you, at VermeilWines.com, right, Coach?
No question. Steve knows we make good wine.
Oh, yes, you do. In fact, I might just, after we hang up here, come on up here and have a little.
No, don't hang up, Steve. Don't hang up, Steve. It's just a one question benching that I give. Coach,
okay.
Coach Vermeil, appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, say hi to Carol.
All right, you do the same.
You got it. There's Dick Vermeil there. I'm sorry, Mooch. I hope it's not embarrassing. I just, I've got a strict
bench like that. Now I got to go get back in the game and get fired up and start over. Jeez, that's hard to do.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did you ever have a policy like this that was unbreakable, that from Steve Young all the way down to 53rd man? There was no way to move it?
I didn't know it was about a tie. I thought, first I heard about it when I was just trying to get packed up and jump on the airplane, right? So I saw it at the studio. It's like, Derek Anderson's in the game. What's the matter? And then they kept showing Cam's face on the TV. I go, oh, boy, he must have missed a meeting or something, a kind of a disciplinary kind of thing because he screwed up somewhere on the trip. I had no idea it was about a dress code violation.
But, I mean, even Rivera's saying apparently this morning that he knew it would be a feeding frenzy. Why do you think he did it? Walk me through the mindset.
Because when you make a rule to your team, you have to enforce it. You can't say, okay, my star is is violating the rule, but I'll let it go because he's my star. And then when the linebacker or the left guard does something and you penalize him, there's inconsistency there. So he had to just do what he said he was going to do. These are the rules, and here's are the consequences. So let's go. And so, it was weird.
Is it fair to delve into it even more here, Steve, by saying there's got to be something deeper? That there's got to be like that. Why would Cam, knowing this is a rule, not do it? And from what we're hearing on other reports, that they gave him options to wear ties, but he wasn't going to wear a tie around a turtleneck, which means just let's get the guy a dress shirt here. Can we just get, you know what I mean? Like just get him a dress shirt. How do we get to the point where an MVP and the face of a team is benched for a series or one play? How do we get to this point?
Yeah, and you wonder had they gone down and scored? Was it the whole drive? Was it maybe longer than that? I don't know what the plan is. It kind of seems a little ticky-tack, but because when you have a sweater on like that, hey, Marshall didn't wear a tie when we went out on Thursday Night Football.
I know.
Because he had a sweater on.
I'll tell you right now, Mooch, for Kansas City on Thursday, I'm not going tie.
You're going to wear thermals, I think, like long underwear with the flap in the back. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Maybe there's something else. And Ron probably will deny that, and he certainly won't share it with the world. Maybe this was like the last straw. Come on, Cam, follow my rules, would you please?
Steve,
I don't know. We're guessing here.
Steve Mariucci joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. I asked this question in hour number one, and I have an answer, at least my opinion. Longer more difficult injury to overcome, Gronk for the Patriots or Earl Thomas for the Seahawks?
Boy, did you see Earl Thomas's tweet? He said something about retiring.
Yeah, it's the first case of somebody being in a retirement protocol in game where you just I've never heard of anything like that.
Really feeling discouraged or something.
Yes.
What exactly is Earl's injury?
He's got a cracked tibia. He's done for the year.
Right. It's a crack or it's a hairline fracture, or how serious is it? Those bones heal, you know.
Now, I know.
Drink some milk and they heal, right?
But he's done for the year. So which injury do you think is going to be more difficult to overcome for the team?
I think Gronk's. It's an accumulation. I remember at the combine, okay? Brian Billick and I were on the field. Remember we used to do those demo kind of things with the players on the field? We had Gronk, all right? And coming out of Arizona, he had that back injury, all right? And so here it is again. I believe it's a very similar issue, same vertebrae or whatever, and he's had others, you know, with perforated lungs and knees and you name it. So there's an accumulative effect on Gronk that his body's getting beaten up, and he takes so many hits. He's such a big target. And this is now that same back injury that he had in college, I guess. So I think that's going to be more difficult to overcome than a broken bone.
So now that we have 3 divisions with ties atop it right now, who do you think wins the AFC North when it's all said and done, Ravens or Steelers?
Steelers. Because when you look at their schedule, it's more conducive to winning that division. The Ravens are at New England. Come on. And then they have to go to the Steelers. So those are 2 losses, I think. Now, the Ravens looked good yesterday, right? Joe Flacco looked comfortable for a change. So I think the Ravens have a tougher schedule. When you look at the Steelers' schedule, it's Bills, Bengals, Baltimore at home, and then Cleveland. I think when it's all said and done, the Steelers win that division, and the Ravens could very well stay home.
What about Falcons and Bucks? Who do you think wins the South?
Oh, you know, that's a good one, too. I just kind of talked to Jameis Winston this morning. That kid is something else.
You and he have this. You're.
You know when it started?
You're like BF.
Well, Under Armour All-American game. You know,
like
he played in that thing, right? So
yeah.
Then he did my game changers. Then we did, and all of a sudden you start texting back and forth. And heck, he wanted to come out for my bocce ball tournament. He wanted to come out to the Madden Mariucci bocce last year from Tampa. And I said, why? He goes, well, because I want to see how you guys run your charity, and because I want to start one. And he did. And so he didn't come out. He started his charity. But anyway, he's a good kid, and they won 4 in a row now, and 4 tough games. Well, the Bears, but then Kansas City and Seattle. Those are quality wins. Those are huge upsets. And then travel across and beat the Chargers. That's you don't look down your nose at that. So it's going to come right down to the wire. They're both 7-5, right?
Yes.
And
you're riding the fence. You're riding the fence.
Schedules.
I'll give you. I've got the schedules right here. Is that the Bucks play the Saints twice,
right?
And the Cowboys in between it before finishing up with the Panthers. The Falcons play the Rams and the Niners in a row next before they face.
They should win those
before they face the Saints and the Panthers to finish up the season.
Yeah, it looks like the Falcons have an easier schedule, right? The Bucks have to play Dallas. That's the one.
That's true.
And it's going to be a 1-game differential when it's all said and done, right? Mm-hmm. And that one might be the determining factor unless those Bucks can upset the Cowboys.
And so, which 6-6 team do you think has a chance to make the playoffs right now? You got Green Bay at 6-6.
Yeah, I like Green Bay, but I would have liked Green Bay better had the Lions lost to the Saints. But the Lions look good. Hey, can you imagine the Lions holding Drew Brees to 13 points at home and no touchdowns? That was like, where did that come from? And I know the Lions are playing better, you know, with Matthew Stafford with all his miracle comebacks, but they had the lead in the fourth quarter and kept it. That was first time all year, and that defense is much better than expected. Now it's 6 games in a row, Rich, that they've held the opponent under 20 points. You're going to win a lot of games when you do that.
Let me, before I let you go, because I mentioned this in the first hour of the show too, what's gotten into your buddy Andy Reid? Because he's going for it he's throwing it on third. I'm seriously, he's throwing it on third downs at ends of games when normally he would just run it out and try and play defense and punt and be conservative. He got a fake punt. You and I talked about it. We showed it on game day morning as well. What he did after beating Denver, got all the players together. NFL Films did a great little a piece on it about him. Just gather around, guys. You feel that heartbeat of the guy next to you.
That was awesome.
I mean, in all seriousness, because we're going to talk about it when we go to Kansas City on Thursday night. Has he changed? Yeah. Has he had like an epiphany, just figuring like in his older age, let's roll the dice here a little bit more?
I don't know. It looks like it. There's a couple examples that you mentioned that typically aren't him, but boy. We know he had success over there in Philly. I think he won that division 6 times or some darn thing. But he's really having a lot of success in Kansas City. Boy, they love him over there, and he's salt of the earth. I mean, he's just Andy Reid, man, and he's just he's not looking for publicity. He's not looking for anything. He just loves coaching his team. And they're finding ways in all phases. They're just Eric Berry. That's a miracle that he's still playing and playing well too. And then Alex Smith doesn't lose games, and he's done. I'm really proud of him, man. He's so humble, and he's so good with those guys. They love him. He's going to stir it up in the AFC now. I know the Raiders are there too, and the Patriots, but Kansas City Chiefs don't sleep on the Chiefs.
Yeah, because they have
I can't wait for this game.
They have all these young, fast kids. They're all young and fast, all of them.
Yeah.
They just drafted in the last 2 weeks. Okay, the last 2 years.
Last time I was there, last time I went over there to Kansas City, I did a little interview with Andy, right? And he had this big birthday cake for me, but before that was just dessert. He had these ribs. We ate ribs for like an hour and a half before the interview. Hey, there's a thing, and when we were rooming together in Green Bay, so our wives weren't moved there yet, so we'd go out to eat every night, right? Mm-hmm. So we'd go to the Old Country Buffet, all you can eat for $9.99, and and then we went to this one place, this Prime Quarter, was a steak place, and if you could eat this 40-ounce steak and the salad and a garlic bread and all this other stuff around it, if you could eat it, we didn't even know it. If you could eat it under an hour, you get the next meal free, and then you get your picture on the wall, right? And a big bib and all that hat, that baker's hat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, Andy finished his meal in 19 minutes, and I finished mine in 30, and we are still on the wall over there at that restaurant.
That's amazing.
Yeah, don't make me bring that picture in. Where is that? I have the picture of it.
Tweet us a photo of that, Mooch.
What?
Tweet us a photo of that.
Tweet a photo. Okay, I'll try to figure out how to do that. Okay.
You know how to do that.
How to do that. All right, I will.
And then and you and that Jollerhorn, you were working it, or the other way around. That Jollerhorn was working you, Steve.
On my tweets, and I get like 27 likes or something like that on Instagram. This one had, I don't know, it's almost at 1.5 million right now. It's like, are you kidding me?
Of you blowing the Jollerhorn?
Yeah. Well, not on mine, on NFL Network.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's a different platform right there. But very good.
Same horn, okay?
I'll see you in Kansas City, Steve.
See ya.
You guys, Steve Mariucci.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.